In the media conference with Lal Goyal, which is brought to you by V4 News, Global TV, V4 Stream, News Gaon se Samvad Sarokar News, Organ Donation India Foundation and Gyan. Our endeavor is to enlighten you with the current topic. And today our topic is not only current, very relevant and very hot topic, and that is the Central Vista. But before I will go on to the main topic, I would like to inform you that today world is celebrating International Nurses Day. International Nurses Day is an international day observed around the world on 12th May, the birth anniversary of Florence Nightingale, to mark the contributions that nurses make to society. In January 1974, 12th May was chosen to celebrate the day as it is the anniversary of the birth of Florence Nightingale, the founder of modern nursing. This day is to thank all nurses, their dedication and work, especially during ongoing coronavirus pandemic. Nurses are indispensable in safeguarding public health. Media conference with Lal Goyal wishes all the nurses and hope society will give the due credit to the nurses which they rightly deserves. Now coming to our main topic, and that is the Central Vista. Central Vista redevelopment project refers to the ongoing redevelopment to revamp the Central Vista, India's central administrative area located near Raisina Hill, New Delhi. The area was designed by Edwin Lutyens and Herbert Baker during British colonial rule and was retained by Government of India after independence. Scheduled between 2020 and 2024, the project as of 2020 aims to revamp a 3-kilometer long Rajpath between Rashtrapati Bhavan and India Gate, convert north and south blocks to publicly accessible museums by creating a new common central secretariat to house all ministries, a new parliament building near the present one with increased seating capacity for future expansion, new residence and office for the vice president and the prime minister near the north and south blocks, and convert some of the older structures into museums. The cost of the Central Vista redevelopment project, which also includes a common central secretariat and the Special Protection Group SPG building, has been estimated to be around 20,000 crores, US dollar 2.8 billion. The project began with the ceremonial laying of the foundation stone of the new parliament building in December 2020. The Central Vista was first designed by architect Edwin Lutyens and Herbert Baker when the capital of the British Raj was moved from Calcutta to Delhi. The parliament building alone took 6 years to construct, from laying the foundation stone on 12th February 1921 to the inauguration by then Viceroy Lord Irwin on 18th January 1927. After independence in 1947, it became the seat of the government of the new republic. The parliament campus was declared a heritage in the 1962 master plan of Delhi. As the need and duties of the government expanded, so did the usage of space. However, due to the development in the area being around a century old and the current growth and development of India, the Central Vista has failed to keep up with the needs of the country. In 1990s, studies were carried out and the conclusions reached was the need of redeveloping the area. The Central Vista redevelopment project was launched in 2019. The project includes converting north and south blocks into public museums while creating an ensemble of new secretariat building to house all ministries, relocating the vice president and the prime minister's office and residence near the north and south block, and revamping the 3-kilometer long Rajpath between Rashtrapati Bhavan and India Gate. A new parliament building with increased seating capacity will be built beside the older one as India aims to expand its parliamentary membership in 2026. The project aims for completion in 2024 before general elections. This plan did not include the proposed PMO as there were issues of pending land use change and litigations. The construction of the new parliament building was temporarily put on hold by Supreme Court of India but was released again within few days with some riders. A new triangular building to house parliament will be built beside the existing structure as the first building under the project. The new structure will be spread on area of 20,866 square meter and will have built up area of 6,94,270 square feet or 64,500 square meter throughout 4 floors, 16,125 square meter each floor, and will have a larger seating capacity than the current building as India aims to expand its parliament in 2026. The new Raj Sabha hall will have a capacity of 384 seats, while the new Lok Sabha hall will have 888 seats with additional capacity up to 1,272 seats for hosting joint sessions. It will have digital interface systems, will consume significantly less power and serve for following 150 years, while the older structure will be retained as an archaeological asset of the country and will be modified for more functional spaces for parliament. The project, with an estimate budget of rupees 971 crore, US dollar $140 million, is expected to be completed in 2022. That is the part of the project, not the full project. Full project is 20,000 crores. Tata Projects won the bid to construct the building at a cost of 861.9 crores in September 2020 and began construction in January 2021. Under the redevelopment of the 3-kilometer long Central Vista Avenue, bridges over canals, pedestrian underpasses, wide footpath, new parking lots, more green areas, benches, as well as trees have been proposed. Sapurji Palonji was awarded the tender for redevelopment of the Central Vista Avenue in January 2021. They are required to complete the project within 300 days and maintain it for 5 years post completion. A set of 10 donut-shaped building on 4 plots as secretariat will be built on either side of Rajpath. The height of all the buildings will be less than 42 meters, so that the height of India Gate will be more than this height, and they will have 7 floors. Exteriors of all buildings will be similar to surroundings Lutyens buildings, and they will be connected to each other and to the Delhi metro network by electric people movers in underground ways and overground buses. The existing secretariat houses only 22 ministries with 41,000 employees, while the rest are spread across the city of New Delhi. The new facility itself will house all the 51 ministries. Vigyan Bhavan will be demolished and a new central conference center will be built besides National Archives. The residence of the Vice President will be relocated at a plot north of the North Block, while the residence and office of the Prime Minister will be moved to a plot south of the South Block. Bringing them both within the Central Vista will cut down on travel time and decrease traffic restrictions. The Vice President's enclave will have an area of 15 acres with 32 5-story buildings with a maximum height of 15 meters. The Prime Minister's new office and residence will be built on a 15 acres plot with 10 buildings with 4 floors with a maximum height of 12 meters with a building for keeping special protection group. The Indira Gandhi National Center for Arts, IGNCA, will be relocated from its current home on Mansingh Road as a part of the government's redevelopment of Central Vista, and its role as a cultural space will be expanded. A 15-acre plot near Jamnagar House has been identified to relocate the present building. The new building will retain IGNCA's existing role as a center for research, publication, events, and training, while allowing additional facilities to be added. Reactions from the Indian opposition parties have been mostly critical. Opposition parties and former civil servants have questioned the need to spend money on the project during a pandemic. International media slammed the wastage of money which could have been used for improving health infrastructure during the pandemic. Many conservationists and historians have criticized the project for robbing Delhi of its heritage and an attempt to erase India's colonial history. Supporters of the project have disputed labeling transformation as an eraser, but rather recognition of the sentiments that India can no longer be defined by colonial systems or symbols. Colonial symbols will neither be destroyed nor appropriated, but simply remain. The engaged architect, Mr. Bimal Patel, called the project a triumph of common sense with a simple and functional design. He has also stated that the existing listing heritage building will be integrated into the project with any new building will be aesthetically harmonious with existing buildings. One misconception is regarding the cost of the construction. The government stated that the entire project cost rupees 20,000 crores, US dollar 2.84 billion, and the parliament building alone cost rupees 971 crores, US dollar 137.89 millions. However, some reports incorrectly referred to the rupees 971 crore figure as the cost of the entire project, rather than just the parliament building, leading to ambiguity and confusion. Now, to discuss this very, very important topic, although I would like to mention that this case, which has gone to the Supreme Court, where the litigants or the petitioner said that because there are lots of greenery, environment, protectionists, they wanted that Supreme Court should stay. But as we know what has happened during the time of the earlier Chief Justice, the Supreme Court has given the judgment in favor of the government on 5th of January 2021. And then work started. But now again, Ms. Luthra and Mr. Luthra has gone to the High Court, but they have been given date for 17th of May for hearing. They went to the Supreme Court for hearing. Supreme Court remanded back to the High Court, asked the High Court to look after, if possible, the early hearing. Early hearing took place on Monday, just to say that, yes, we are going to hear on Tuesday. Government pleader, the Attorney General, said that we have already filed the reply in detail, which were not found on the records. I think some voices are coming. I have to mute you, Mr. Mathur. I am mute you. I am just mute. Although your turn is there, so please see to it that no voice should come. Otherwise, I have to mute you. Please, thank you. So at the High Court, it was not on record. Their reply. Ultimately, they have put that on record, and that's why today's date is there. Today, the Honorable High Court of Delhi is going to listen whether this project, which is going on the heart of the Delhi city in this pandemic time, should continue or it should be withheld for some time till everything is normal. So now to discuss this, we have a very, very elite, very learned, and those who knows about this project thoroughly panelist with us. I would like to invite my first guest, and he is Mr. Pradeep Mathur. Mr. Pradeep Mathur is BSc Honors LLB. Mr. Mathur is the former leader of Congress Legislature Party in UP Assembly at Lucknow. He was elected MLA from Mathura Vrindavan UP constituency for 4 terms, that is 20 years, in 1985 to 1990, 2002 to 2007, 2007 to 2012, and 2012 to 2017. He was the chairman of Public Account Committee. He was the vice president and general secretary of Uttar Pradesh Congress Committee. He received Governor's Award as Best Social Worker of UP in settling down a family of poor Brahmin widow. He organized many blood camps, pensions for handicapped and widows, and provided artificial limbs for handicapped. On his behalf, approximately rupees 3,000 crores projects of development work sanctioned and executed for Mathura Vrindavan. He was instrumental for getting CNG, PNG, and industrial gas pipelines installed in Mathura. Welcome, Mr. Pradeep Mathur, on our show. Mr. Pradeep Mathur, you heard the report which I read.
Thank you very much.
And in that report, it is very clear that the BJP government, the present government of India, wants to see to it that this Central Vista project should be completed by 2024 before the general elections. So the new parliament, once it will be constituted, will sit in the new parliament house, and the prime minister will also move to a new house which is going to be constructed there, apart from other ministries, etc. Now, you being such a senior Congress leader, and the Congress is opposing this, although BJP says this proposal was the brainchild of the Congress only. When it was brainchild of Congress and now BJP wants to execute, what was the problem? Why you are opposing tooth and nail? Every day, yesterday, Ms. Priyanka Gandhi has given details that 20,000 crores can be equivalent to so many hospitals, so many oxygen beds, so many ventilators, etc., etc. But what BJP says, after all, it's a development work. It's giving lots of work to the laborers and all many agencies who are working. So what is the real thing? Why Congress is opposing? We would like to know that Central Vista. Mr. Pradeep Mathur, please.
Actually, the Central Vista is actually the brainchild of the Congress, but it does not mean that it has to be executed at this point of time where the country is passing through a very chaotic phase. The international pandemic is there throughout the world, and in India, particularly at this point of time, when there is an absolute crisis, when the government is not being able to provide oxygen, the government is not being able to provide remdesivir injections, is not being able to provide medicines, even it is not being able to provide the beds. It is not the priority. When we are already having the Parliament House, we are having house for both the houses, that is Rajya Sabha and Lok Sabha. We have got a wonderful road already built on Rajpath. We are already having the existing Prime Minister House. What is the need of the hour? What is the particular thing with the BJP government to construct it right now? Whether Modi ji is wanting to show and to create history that he has created a new Parliament House, he has created a new Prime Minister House, he has created a new house for the Vice King to create history. Accordingly, they are insisting and doing all these kind of a thing. Nothing to talk about the judiciary. Everybody knows that how the judiciary is playing nowadays, and how the directions are being given, and how the judiciary is in the lap of the government. I will not mind in saying this thing. So it is very unfortunate that in the crisis time, when the country is passing through a very critical crisis time, this particular lavish project of 20,000 crores is being brought into existence under the force of the ruling party, while all opposition parties, all international media is saying no to it, but the Modi media and the BJP government is insisting hard to go for it, which is not good for the health of the country.
Thank you very much, Mr. Pradeep Mathur, for giving your views. And what Mr. Mathur says, that at this time when the pandemic is on, when the government fails to provide the oxygen, ventilators, remdesivir injections, etc., why they are insisting to go for this such extravagant project and implement that right now. And according to him, all the opposition parties as well as international media is slamming the government, but the he used word either Godi media or Modi media. I don't know what word he has used, but whatsoever media he has used, as well as the other BJP's thing that they want that this project should go through. And he says this is a very wrong thing. Why Mr. Modi is bent upon, whether he wants to go in history just to show that this is Mr. Modi has created this. Thank you very much, Mr. Mathur. Definitely, I will come with tough questions to you, because Congress has to also reply many things which I am going to ask to you when I will come next to you. Now, I would like to invite my next guest, and he is Advocate Ramesh Kumar Sharma. Advocate Ramesh Kumar Sharma is a leading lawyer of Western UP with more than 41 years of practice. He is regularly appearing in Supreme Court and different high courts, including Allahabad, Madhya Pradesh, Delhi, Andhra Pradesh high courts, etc. He is extensively practicing constitutional, civil, and taxation matters. He is also rendering social services. He is Secretary of Kans Nikandan Trust Mathura. He is Founder Secretary of Civil Lawyers Forum and President thereafter. Welcome, Advocate Ramesh Kumar Sharma, on our show. Advocate Ramesh Kumar Sharma, you have heard what Mr. Pradeep Mathur has mentioned. His views are because he represents Congress party and very senior leader of the Congress party. So definitely he has to oppose, the opposition party has to oppose. But we would like to know, once the project has been given green signal by the highest court of the land, that is Supreme Court, then how come the advocates have moved, and how come the High Court, even the Supreme Court, entertained the petition at one place? Why they have not rejected? It is like that you are going against the, once order is done, and as per my limited knowledge of legal knowledge, you can go for a review of the order. But if you are going again to High Court and asking them to stay, which on 5th January 2021, Supreme Court has given clearance. So why it is happening, and what are your views on Central Vista? Advocate Ramesh Kumar Sharma, please.
Yeah, Mr. Goyal, first I would like to thank you for giving me an opportunity to put my views on the topic. First, we have to look what this Central Vista is. This name was given in 1911 at the time of constructions of this Lutyens zone. Central Vista is the name of the area in New Delhi's Lutyens zone, beginning from Rashtrapati Bhavan to India Gate and its surrounding sites. Its length is about 3 kilometers and a little more. It consists of Parliament House, President House, North Block, South Block, Vice President's House, Vigyan Bhavan, and these all lawns etc. Our Parliament House was built about 110 years back. It is a historical monument. North Block and South Block are having so many ministries, as you have said, and some ministries are outside of these North Block and South Block also. Vigyan Bhavan is a famous meeting hall. So many national and international conferences have taken place there, and it is very nicely built and having latest technology of the meeting hall. Our present Parliament House is having sufficient accommodation for the present members of the Parliament. It is expected to be increased in 26. We cannot say how much quantity of the members of Parliament will increase at that time, but as per the census on to be held in 21, which is not to be conducted at all because of this pandemic. So we cannot expect that in 26 any new number of parliament members can be given. Anyway, that's a matter of future. But with regard to the present time, our present Parliament House is having a sufficient space for the members of Parliament. Then, just adjacent to this Parliament House, there is another building built in 80s by Mrs. Gandhi named Sansadiya Saud. This Sansadiya Saud is having so many offices connected to the Parliament. And it is also having a meeting hall. Parties meetings are generally being held. Parliamentary boards meetings are generally being held in this Sansadiya Saud. And it is working like an additional building of the Parliament. So this building is also there. Some offices are also there. Though our Parliament House is old, but it is sufficient to maintain the need of the day. So we don't require a new Parliament House at this juncture. But the main thing which is being said by the present government is that in the present Parliament House and Sansadiya Saud, there is no space for the offices of the members of the Parliament. Present government want to give an office to every member of the Parliament, that is Lok Sabha and Raj Sabha, and that's why 1,000 offices for the parliament members are proposed in this new project. 1,000 offices. What I feel, this is not required at all. Every member of parliament cannot be said to having any need of the office in the parliament house itself. Parliament house already consists for offices of all the ministers, not for the members, this is correct, but for all the ministers. Generally, all the members of the house, they are having their offices at their residence. Their residences are constructed together with an office complex also. So they are having offices there. Parliament is not always in session. It is very little time that when parliament is session. And furthermore, even if the parliament is in session, generally about 50% members are attending the parliament session, except the whip time when the whip has been issued by the party. So all the members are to be present in the house. But even at that time, every member is required a office that is an imaginary thing. So this requirement is not a legal requirement, or I should say proper requirement at all, and it is not a requirement at all. Offices are already there in the residences of the members of the parliament. But anyway, it is also proposed. One library is a very big library is also there in the present parliament house. It can also be used by the members of parliament required as offices if someone requires at all. But our government requires a separate offices. Then our country is a developing country. Generally, our budget is also a deficit budget for the development work. What I feel, such a costly project of about 20,000 crore for this country is a luxurious. Luxurious constructions can be made, but it can be made when our country is having some excess revenue. As we are already having the deficit revenue, so luxurious construction should be avoided. This is like the statute of 360 crore. I say that is also a luxurious construction. There was no need. Sardar Patel is always a great person. He was a great person. He is a great person. He has not become great by way of this statue. He was already great prior to this statue also. So that was also a wastage of the money of the public at large, and particularly the taxpayers. That amount of 360 crores may be utilized somewhere else in hospitals, education systems, or somewhere else. Like this, with this present 20,000 cost is also luxurious expenses. It may be utilized somewhere others. Presently, if you look, as this pandemic is there and so many shortage of hospitals, bed, ventilators, medicines, oxygen, everything is there. 12 AIIMS are under construction and they have been waiting for their aid from the government, money. And their construction could not be completed for want of money. That is the requirement of the country. Why not those 12 AIIMS are being completed instead of this the luxurious construction? That is the need of the time. Had it been completed long back, so whatever we are facing today, we may have not faced it. That's why I say it is totally a luxurious construction which is not required at all. Now coming to the legal side, one important question you have also raised. The legality of this project was challenged before Honorable Supreme Court on the ground that this proposed construction is not in accordance with the norms of the Delhi Development Authority, DDA. And the land use, because of initially this all area was a green area, no construction was permitted. So land use has been changed by the government, and this change of land use was also challenged, that this order is also not proper. Further, some environmental questions were also raised, and it was also said that the environmental clearance which has been granted by the department, it is already against their own norms. But the judgment is there. On 5th January, the judgment was passed by the 3 judges bench of Honorable Supreme Court, and the judgment was passed by 2:1 by majority. Justice Khanvilkar and Justice Maheshwari was there in favor of the project, and Justice Sanjeev Khanna, he gave a dissenting view against this project. Anyway, by way of majority judgment, the legality of this project has been upheld. But what I differ, there is quite a difference in between a legality of a project and propriety of the project. Propriety of a project cannot be judged by the Supreme Court. It is always within the discretion of the government to think over whether any construction is proper or not, required or not. It may be said to be a policy matter of the government. Whether it is proper or not, that is a separate thing. What I say, this proposed construction may be legal, but it is not proper at all. And proper for all these reasons, that our money is required for other necessary purposes and not for such luxurious constructions. Now, you have raised the questions how this matter has been challenged again in the Delhi High Court, in spite of the fact that the Honorable Supreme Court has already passed the judgment. Whatever has been passed by Honorable Supreme Court in that judgment, in the Delhi High Court petition, nothing has been said against that. The only point raised before the Delhi High Court is, as this is a pandemic period, lockdown is there, and all construction activities have been stayed by the government orders, then why this construction is being going on? And the request has been made to stop this construction till this lockdown or pandemic period. So that is the difference. This matter of pandemic or lockdown, this was never challenged before the Honorable Supreme Court. This point never came before the Honorable Supreme Court, and there is no finding at all on the point in the judgment of the Honorable Supreme Court. Now it is yet to be decided. Some matter was tomorrow also, today also it is fixed for hearing. It is yet to be decided by the Delhi High Court whether this construction should be continued or not. What I feel is, government has given a notification. This construction of this project is an essential activity. And as it is an essential activity, essential activities are permitted in the lockdown period, then its construction should be going. It is going on. That is the legal aspect. That declaration of essential activities has also been challenged before the Delhi High Court. What I feel, number one, it is not an essential activity at all. Lockdown period or pandemic period, this is simply postponing the certain things, including the construction of a building. It is never cancelling it forever. It is just a postponement. Limitation of all the things have already been extended by our Honorable Supreme Court. So there is no question of any limitation. Now it is a political matter that someone wants that Parliament House must be constructed prior to 2020 and the entire project should be completed prior to 2024. This is a political matter because all these things are expected to be completed prior to one election or prior to the other election. So this is purely a political matter. It is not a legal or otherwise any matter. Then what is going on? We are already having the knowledge of the pandemic. It is an infectious disease. Social distancing is to be maintained. Masks are to be put on the mouth, and so many other restrictions are also there. At this construction site, thousands of workers are working every time. The work is going on day and night in 2 shifts of 12 hours. 2 shifts of 12 hours, day and night. And thousands of workers are working regularly. Now, the government is not saying one correct fact that yesterday the affidavit has been filed that labor is residing at the work site also. This is absolutely wrong. The labor is residing at Kirti Nagar, about 18 to 20 kilometers from this site, construction site, and a big part of the labor is residing at near Sarai Kale Khan, which is about 12 to 14 kilometers from this site. And this construction site has asked for vehicle passes to transport these laborers from their resident point to construction site. Up to 30th of this April, 180 vehicle passes have been issued to transport this labor. Yesterday's affidavit says labor is residing at the same construction site. This is absolutely wrong. Labor is not residing at all there. They are just befooling the High Court also. And 180 buses have been approved. Buses are full with the laborers, and they are being carried on from 20 kilometer or 15 kilometer from one place to other. How there can be a social distancing? Then this project is by this way. They are playing with the lives of these laborers in this pandemic period. This is quite improper. I am saying improper. I'm not saying the legality. I am saying the propriety. It is not proper as well. This project may be completed a little later when this pandemic is over. Again, the work may be started. Whatever contract has been made with the Tatas or with any other construction agency, those limitations may be extended to the period of the pandemic or lockdown period when the work has been stopped, so that the lives of our laborer may be saved and they may not have any infectious disease. But this all is being not considered at all. And our political bosses, they simply want to have the gains of for their next elections, either it is of 22 to 2022 or it is of 24. So my submission is, whatever has been decided by the Honorable Supreme Court, it has never been challenged before the Delhi High Court. The matter of Delhi High Court is entirely new, and it has to be decided by the Delhi High Court separately and independently in the light of all the present circumstances. That's all.
Thank you very much, Advocate Ramesh Kumar Sharma, for giving your views. And Advocate Ramesh Kumar Sharma strongly believes that this project is nothing but a luxury construction, luxury buildings. And he says, what is the need of the hour today? The need of hour are the hospitals, the beds, and all those medical facilities. He says about 12 All India Institute of Medical Sciences, 11 or 12 figure, whatsoever he has given, is under construction, and they were not being giving the money, so they would have completed. If those 11, 12 All India Institute of Medical Sciences in different parts of India would have completed, then definitely they would have given more contribution in this pandemic time. And he says this is nothing but it's a political game because of 2022 elections in UP and other states, as well as 2024, the general election of the parliament. They want to complete those things, and that is why they are in hurry. In spite of all the construction activities that have been stopped, this work is going on, and now this work has been termed as an essential, comes under the essential activity. Now that is, yes, I got it, essential activity. Now, yes, I also agree with Advocate Ramesh Kumar Sharma in one way. How come a construction of a building, of a house, of a, whether it's a president house, prime minister house, anybody's house, they are not about the lives. I just received a message on news, 100 bodies have again found floating in Ganges. So nobody bothers about the bodies, dead bodies, but the construction of a luxury building is going to take place. But this is the political game, which is one has to accept. It's a merit and demerit of democracy. Majority rules. Although I still remember Advocate Ramesh Kumar Sharma has mentioned in one of earlier media conference that when Nani Palkiwala argued in front of the judges in 1974 in the Keshwanand versus Union of India case. 1973, in which he said that a majority dictatorship. So whether it's a majority dictatorship or majority democracy, we can't say right now, but these are the views which Advocate Ramesh Kumar Sharma has mentioned, and he is very clear. He says that Delhi High Court is listening the petition for staying for the time being till the pandemic is over. Once the pandemic is over, when our financial conditions are good, one can very well go ahead for the construction because Supreme Court has already cleared, although the judgment was not with the full majority, it was part. And I still remember, there was a judgment of Sabrimala in which there was one dissent by Justice, if I'm not wrong, you can correct me, Indu Malhotra.
Indu Malhotra,
yeah. Justice Indu Malhotra. And at that time, the government, it was reviewed because it was not with the majority. Why this judgment was also not reviewed when it was not with full majority? It's a dissent was already there. Anyway, that is a part of the legality which we cannot comment. Once the judgment is passed, the order is already there, we have to accept it. Now, we have heard what Advocate Ramesh Kumar Sharma. So Advocate Ramesh Kumar Sharma and Mr. Pradeep Mathur, those both are opposing this project. But we have a voice with us who is going to support this project. Now I am going to invite and introduce my next panelist, and he is Mr. Arun Lakshman. Mr. Arun Lakshman is the director of Center for Policy and Development Studies, a think tank based out of Chennai and Tiruvananthapuram, focusing on social, economic, political, and strategic studies. He was officer on special duty to Minister of State for Law and Justice in Atal Bihari Vajpayee government. He is a freelance journalist and was former Kerala resident editor of The Pioneer. He worked with the New Indian Express as well as with Sea Voter opinion poll agency Rediff.com. Welcome, Mr. Arun Lakshman, on our show. Mr. Arun Lakshman, you have heard what Mr. Pradeep Mathur as well as Advocate Ramesh Kumar Sharma has mentioned, and both are of very, very strong views that keeping the mind this pandemic, the seriousness of the pandemic, where thousand people are dying every day. Yesterday, we have broken the record while touching the figure of 4,200 people lost their life. Official figure, which I will not vouch. I know personally because I am getting the figures from all over India, and you being a journalist, you might also be getting the figures, and you know these are fudging the figures. I can very well say the governments, state governments are fudging the figures for the best reasons. For them, no, everybody knows that the newspapers are full of obituaries, Facebook is full of obituaries, but nobody bothers. The figures they are showing in a district, 3, 4, 5 people lost their life, hundreds and hundreds of people are losing. And this is raised not here, all over the world. Everywhere they are saying that India has come in the category of China and Russia, like fudging. They are hiding the reports. Anyway, that is a separate aspect. But Mr. Arun Lakshman, you have worked very closely with the government, definitely with Vajpayee government. You know ins and outs because you have worked in the ministry. You know the working of parliament more than earlier panelists. Yes, Mr. Pradeep Mathur knows about the working of the Vidhan Sabha or the Legislative Council very closely, being the 4 times MLA as well as the legislative leader of the legislative party, Congress Legislative Party. But when you have worked, you might have seen everything, and you know very well that all the MPs have been giving very, very big houses with their having the offices there, as well as the parliament annexe is next to the parliament, which houses have many things. Now, in this present time, when the money is not there, we don't have money to pay for the vaccine. Today, the condition is so bad. I am doing the program, but I know how many calls I am receiving, how many messages we are receiving. Please get the appointment for vaccine. Earlier, I was getting for oxygen and this thing. Now we are happy that we have begged in front of the international countries, and international countries have given, and with their obligations. I have seen that some video, some ruler, some sheikh from Dubai was talking like he's giving a donation to us. So now we have become a beggar, and beggar cannot be a chooser. And we have become a country like a begging. When we are begging for vaccination, for these things, now we have to beg for the vaccination. We are begging one side. Other side, we are spending 20,000 crores. Do you think, Mr. Arun Lakshman, this is correct? And if correct, give your views on Central Vista. Mr. Arun Lakshman, please.
Good morning, Mr. Lal Goyal, and my fellow speakers. Very senior politician, opposition leader of one of the biggest houses of the country, Mr. Pradeep Mathur, and senior advocate Ramesh Sharma ji. But I will come to my point. Actually, of course, I do agree and I do disagree on some points of Central Vista. I am for construction of Central Vista because I have seen how crouched the Lok Sabha is and how crouched when there is a joint session of the houses take place. And as far by 2026, the delimitation comes, there will be 888, as you rightly said, MPs in the Lok Sabha, maybe 328 or so for the Rajya Sabha. And if a joint session is held, you cannot imagine. There were even in the house, the current Lok Sabha, when joint sessions are held, there were chairs will be replaced. Maybe chairs are brought in. to sit. And you can see people sitting very close to each other. If there is a fat people in between, it is very, it has to be developed. It was an old construction, it is to develop. And of course, Central Vista is a project which has to come. And Tushar Mehta, Advocate General in the Supreme Court, has argued that we are spending a lot of money on rental accommodation for the government buildings. And once the Central Vista comes up, these are all to be taken care of. The whole government buildings, the government offices, everything will be inside accommodated inside the Central Vista project. That is fine. But I do agree with Advocate Ramesh Sharma. There is no need for an MP's office within the Central Vista project. I do agree on that, because why MPs don't need a separate office inside the Central Vista. 1,000 offices inside the Central Vista for MPs is a bit of an extravaganza, or rather more of an extravaganza. I do agree on that point. That count is very true. There is no need for MP's office within the Central Vista project, and they can very well accommodate the people who come to meet them within their houses, within their residences, and if need be, there are good huge public library within the house. That can be there. No need of a separate houses, separate offices for MPs. You do have separate offices for ministers within the parliament. That is necessary. Even every, as Mr. Mathur knows, every state assembly has separate offices for ministers. But the MPs separate offices for a bit of outreaching thing. And secondly, I also do agree with the fellow speakers on there is no need for a fast construction or present construction during the pandemic. There is no need. It can be, you can put it on hold. You can put it on hold for maybe quite let the pandemic be over, and then you go ahead with the project. I do agree for the project. The Central Vista is a prestigious project. Let it come for the country. And secondly, I do disagree for a separate office, separate offices for MPs, and I do disagree whether the construction has to be done at a fast pace at the present moment. I do disagree. But Sardar Patel statue in between Advocate Ramesh Sharma has mentioned, I would have like to say that from November 1st to November 26th, 1 year period, 29 lakh visitors had visited, fetching a money of 82 crore. The Gujarat Assembly, it was tabled in the Gujarat Assembly. If I am not wrong, I have read it. In 82.8 crore rupees was garnered in 1 year from 2019 November 1st to 2020 November 20. I think so. If 29 lakh visitors had visited the statue, and the Gujarat government could get 82.8 crore rupees. That was tabled in the Gujarat Assembly. And Pradeep Mathurji told about the Modi media and all. Actually, L.K. Advani has told long back about the emergency period on the media. When you were asked to stoop, you crawled. I don't think that the media has reached that level right now. And as far as Central Vista project is concerned, and the serious tone, the Parliament they should put on hold on this thing at present, because bodies are being seen in the Ganges, and the country is facing through a utmost chaos. The Parliament, the pandemic is a macabre dance. Even in Kerala, you see, I'm from Kerala, my home state. As Mr. Lal Goyal just rightly pointed out, the government is coming out with figures. Yesterday they came out figures 68 deaths. It is not 68 deaths. Each district, the local reporters have told me that minimum 15 deaths are being reported from each district, and there are 14 districts in the state. That means what? 150, it will be 170, 180 deaths per day. The government, the maximum figures the government has told is 68. So if a state like Kerala can report and fudge the data like this, wherein every person is a journalist, even everybody is a journalist. You question the government. You question everybody. There are questions are leveled every day. People raise questions. Yeah, and social media is very active. In such a society, if it is happening, we can imagine what is happening in the northern part of the country, wherein poor people are yet to be educated to that level to question the people in office. So I do agree that. And so, as far as I'm concerned, to that point, I do agree. For the time being, as far as till the pandemic is over, let the Central Vista Council be put on hold. But I am for the Central Vista project, and a grandiose project is good for the country. Let it be like that. The Vice President's office is to be accommodated here. The Prime Minister's residence is here. Everything, let it come. But right now, for the time being, let it be on hold. And as far as AIIMS is concerned, AIIMS, there was only one AIIMS in the country till maybe 2014. Then they started the AIIMS. The 12 AIIMS have been started by this government. The government the government started a lot of AIIMS for the country. It is good, and maybe they should fund the AIIMS project more than the Central Vista project right now. That's the need of the hour. Okay.
Thank you very much, Mr. Arun Lakshman. And Mr. Arun Lakshman has also changed his tune today.
No,
What he's
no, not change. It's a reality. It's a reality.
okay. Yes. What he says, what Mr. Arun Lakshman says makes sense. What he says is, he is for the project, which I am sure that even the Honorable Supreme Court as well as others have agreed once the. But he says right now it should be stayed for the time being till the pandemic is over. He also agreed with Advocate Ramesh Kumar Sharma that the offices of the MPs should not be inside the Central Vista. They don't regard it's a wastage of money. But he says because the Parliament House is now very it's become limited for the purpose that it is going to increase, the number of seats are going to increase, and he has mentioned about the FAT and other MPs. Only thing I will add on this, Mr. Arun Lakshman, I have seen people traveling in the metro, in the local trains as well as the buses. There, nobody bothers for that how many people are sitting or standing there. But for those persons who have been elected, who are supposed to do the service to the society, who are supposed to serve their voters and the electorates, why they require such type of luxury? I don't feel that this is right. They should come out openly, says no, we don't want anything, we can hold our parliament even in open area. Anyways, I am now going to come, but what Mr. Arun Lakshman has made very, very clear, he says 2 points. Right now it should be stopped. Number two, for the time being, so that the pandemic is over. Secondly, he says no offices inside the Central Vista, but he says Central Vista should be there. And he has also clarified one thing, which Advocate Ramesh Sharma has mentioned about the Sardar Patel. He says 92 lakhs or some odd money has already been collected with 29 lakhs visitors in 1 year's time.
82 crores.
Sorry, 82 crores, not
in
lakhs.
1 year.
In 1 year only. So he says that is not a wasteful expenditure. One can consider it like a Statue of Liberty. He has not said, but I'm saying, so it is like a monument where when the tourists will come, they will go there and see to it. So it has nothing to do. It's like we should not make it as a national pride. We must consider it as a tourist spot for the public. I think the meaning of Mr. Arun Lakshman is that it is not that we have done something for Sardar Patel. We have just sold Mr. Sardar Patel for the purpose of attracting that tourist. Sorry, but it means no. You have not told me. I'm saying if we are considering the money part like this, it means we are only bothered to how to collect the money. Thank you very much, Mr. Arun Lakshman. Now my question goes to Mr. Pradeep Mathur. Why you are making so hue and cry, Mr. Mathur?
Yes.
Time capsule. Remember 15th August 1972. Indira Gandhi. She buried one time capsule near Red Fort. You remember that? And
yeah, I remember.
That was another. No. Just listen to me. And coming to point. My question, I'm not. That was unearthed by the 1977 government. Till date, what were the contents were not known to the public. Neither that government has said what are the things, what the content they have given, because there was a PIL. I still remember one officer called Badrinath C, although he was Badrinath Chaturvedi, but he has started putting Badrinath C is a Tamil Nadu cadre from UP, and he has filed this thing movement. He has written so many things. That's why it was taken out capsule. But what was there? My point is, why you are worrying? Why Congress is worrying? Let it be. Tomorrow, once if the Congress will win any time, they will change the name, because one thing is very clear. The name people are saying, I'm not saying, but people are saying the name of this Central Vista will be changed to Narendra Modi Vista, like Narendra Modi Stadium. So you can change whatsoever name, Priyanka Gandhi, Rahul Gandhi, or whatsoever name, you can also change, because unearthing is going to take place. Congress
it is not Mr. Lal, it is not an issue whether Narendra Modi ji is going to keep his name for the Central Vista. The question is that the present state of affair, the day one, this government for last 7 years ruling the country, it has not given a shape of a thing which is in the favor of the public, except blaming the Congress, number one, except targeting the Nehru Gandhi family, except putting the public into the fix by way of Notbandi, by way of GST, by way of many other more things, where the common man is being brought into trouble. And on the other side, when the government is not having funds, they are going to construct such a luxurious buildings. If these buildings are not existing, then things would have been different. That it is mandatory to construct. But when we have got such a beautiful huge parliament house, when we have got the president house, when we have got the prime minister office, when we have got the your vice president office, when we have got Vigyan Bhavan, when we have got everything lying in present of state of affair for last so many years, and it is being done and constructed. What is the need of the hour to construct such a luxurious building? I know he just Narendra Modi ji is wanting to make his name bigger in the history of the country. These BJP guys are not having any patriotic people.
Okay.
They are
Okay.
not having anybody
Okay. With
who
that
have
is
played a key role in the freedom of
your net is weak, Mr.
India.
Mathur. Your net is weak.
They are
I will come back to you.
and hiring and
No,
snatching
no, we
from
can't
the-
hear. Mr. Mathur, we can't hear. Your net is, Mr. Mathur, your net is weak.
You
We will,
just take it from me.
we will come back to you.
You
I
are
will come back
saying-
to you. Please see to it. Your net should be perfect because your net is weak. I will come back to you with the next answer. Next question to you. Now, my question goes to Advocate Ramesh Kumar Sharma. Advocate Ramesh Kumar Sharma, you says there is an affidavit filed in the High Court. Affidavit has been filed in High Court. What? Why not? When Attorney General, if you remember the migrant case last year, and he has given a statement to the Supreme Court that no migrant is on the road. And the end of the March, if you recall, 2020, and Supreme Court, that then famous Chief Justice, Mr. Bobde, has taken that thing on words. So what is the difference? You also remember the affidavit given by the then Chief Minister of UP about the Babri Masjid, that was also accepted. So I don't think that for giving affidavit by attorney generals or anyone in a false affidavit, it makes any difference. So the court has to see what the affidavit thinks. They cannot go beyond that, because for them, if anybody is giving an affidavit, they think that it's a gospel truth. So accordingly, now once the attorney general says on the affidavit that no laborer is staying there, it means they are not staying. Whether they are staying or not makes hardly any difference. What do you say about that, Advocate Ramesh Kumar Sharma?
Yeah, Mr. Goyal, it was Solicitor General, not the Attorney General.
Sorry, yeah.
Last time also, Solicitor General Tushar Mehta has given that statement, there is no migrant labor on the road. And that statement was believed by our Honorable Supreme Court. But the actuality was entirely contrary. And everyone has looked at crowd on the roads of these laborers anyway. The same way is there. So this affidavit of the president, why such an affidavit has been filed? Because of, in this notification of the government, certain conditions are there. That if the construction has already started prior to this pandemic and lockdown, and labor is residing at the site of the construction, then such a construction may be continued. So to fulfill this condition, this false affidavit has been filed. We have seen so many interviews of the laborers and the television channels, and they are specifically saying that we are coming from Sarai Kale Khan, we are coming from Kirti Nagar, we are coming from buses, from evening, night, evening safe, morning safe. They are coming from different places. So this version has been specifically given false just to fulfill that condition, because of otherwise, if they are not filing such an affidavit, they cannot get permission to continue the construction. So they have given the false affidavit intentionally just to fulfill that. Now,
Okay.
one more thing I would like to say, what Mr. Lakshman has said, that there is already a lack of space in the present parliament. I don't see there is any lack of space in present parliament, but it may be there after the reconstruction of the constituencies, which is expected in 2026. But that will not take place. Why I'm telling you? That has to be take place on the basis of the census to be conducted in 21. For conducting the this census, at least 1 year or more than 1 year previous preparation must be there. Because of last year also we were under the pandemic. This year also we are under the pandemic. So with regard to this census, nothing has been done in the country. This census has to take place in the entire country, all the villages, all the cities, all the town areas. It is a big project. It cannot be done very lightly. Even if after this pandemic we started, it will take further several years to complete that census. After the completion of the census and the complete data of the entire country is available, then the reconstruction of the constituency will take place. So it will, what I feel, it will go up to 2030. Prior to that, the reconstruction of constituency is not expected at all. So there cannot be any lack of space for at least next 10 years.
Okay.
So there cannot be any hurry to make this construction so early. It can be done after the completion of the lockdown.
Okay. Advocate Ramesh Kumar Sharma, I will just say one thing. When the government can prepone the Kumbh Mela for 1 year to win the elections in these 4 states and one union territory. So when they can change the even their religious thing, so there is nothing that they can do the census earlier. Anyway, thank you very much. Now my question goes to Mr. Arun Lakshman. You rightly said, Mr. Arun Lakshman, that the MP's office should not be in the Vista. Because one thing is very clear. Today, we know that our Prime Minister, Honorable Prime Minister, and few other dignitaries requires high security. Once everyone will be sitting inside the Central Vista, and the offices will be there inside, the MP's offices will also be there. It means the general public or those who are coming from the constituencies will either not be going inside to meet the MP at all, or if they will go, it will be high risk for our Honorable Prime Minister, whosoever will be there. Don't you think it is a wrong planning done? Because right now, when we have seen the Parliament attack earlier, it was not all the ministries were not there. And you know very well, you have worked with the ministry. Many ministries are not the key ministries where so much very sensitive issues are being discussed. There are few ministries which are really required to be close to the Prime Minister, not every ministries. So do you think even the ministries, all the ministries at one point is also a risk for the high risk leaders of our country? What do you say about that, Mr. Lakshman?
No, that risk and all is, we have the intelligence agencies. That is a flaw in intelligence, no? That risk and all, we have to take that part. I mean to say that all the ministries be inside the Central Vista project. But I do agree with Mr. Ramesh Sharma and others that there need not be an office for the MPs. The constituencies, as you rightly said, people from across the country will come to meet their MPs, and they may not be able to come inside Central Vista or because of the security reasons and all those stuff. And there is no point in having an MP's office within the Central Vista. But of course, see, you have Shastri Bhavan. Shastri Bhavan has houses several ministries, with different floors, different ministries. So if you take a government building inside, the whole ministers can be shifted inside the Central Vista. Likewise, the Shastri Bhavan, other Bhavans also.
One moment, Mr. Lakshman. I understand, but the thing is, Shastri Bhavan is not close to the North Block. Here you are bringing all the ministries to very close to the PMO. Now it is a risk, because what will happen? People, either we should say that no one can go and meet minister. That is not correct. After all, journalists are going, so many people are going. So they will be entering the high risk zone to meet. Don't you think that will be a risk factor for the leaders?
Not only the journalists, people, the common man can also come inside. There will be a time frame. There will be time shooter. There will be other security checks. People will enter. No, I don't think that it is that we have to take it. That there will not be that much security risk if some suppose even if even inside the North Block and South Block, people can enter. No, there were you can even enter from the Central Secretariat. There was a route to the Prime Minister's office earlier. I don't know. I don't think I don't know whether you know that and all. There was an office.
Earlier. No, see, earlier we have no security at all. Even
No, not
PM
at all.
house was not having that much barricades what we are seeing today. So we are talking of today's situation.
No, that means there will be the security will be right in place, and if Defense Ministry, Home Ministry, and other Finance Ministry can be close to the PMO, other ministers can also be close to the PMO. There's not that will not be that much of risk. I don't think that. The risk
Okay.
factor we have to for
Okay.
that we have to trust our Home Ministry and the security intelligence agencies.
Okay, thank you very much. Now my question goes to Mr. Pradeep Mathur. Mr. Pradeep Mathur,
Yes.
your Prime Minister, your means our former Prime Minister of our country, Mrs. Indira Gandhi, when asked about the Asiad 82, you remember 1982 Asiad, which held in New Delhi, Asiad Games. At that time, it was totally developed. Delhi was totally dug up, and Delhi was revamped totally. Hotels have come up, stadiums, whatnot. And when the question was asked to her, why this much expenditure when the country's financial conditions is not good, her reply was that after all, the money is going to the country only. The person who is if the money is paid from the government, it will go to the contractor. The contractor is giving to subcontractor is going to give the laborer or the suppliers. So money is circulating. So basically, it is one way for the development and to pass off the money to the grassroots. Same thing is happening now. So
I'm getting your point.
So then why you are
time the circumstances were not such. At present, for last 2 years, the country is facing pandemic, and the country is passing through a very critical phase where we are being badly defamed in the country and in international forum also. It is not the time to circulate the money. It is the time to circulate the money into the health sector. It is the time to build the hospitals. It is the time to provide beds. It is the time to provide medicines. It is the time to provide oxygen. It is not the time to make Central Vista. If it is being done, it is to be postponed. Both the circumstances were different. When Madam Indira Gandhi has announced for Asian Games, that was a peace time, and there was no such type of pandemic prevailing into the country.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Mathur. Now my question goes to Mr. Advocate Ramesh Kumar Sharma. Advocate Ramesh Kumar Sharma, suppose today, after all, either High Court will take today or tomorrow, whenever they will decide, either they will stay or they will not. One thing is very clear, the parties, either this party or the other government, has to approach to the Supreme Court. Do you think that this will again a legal fight, and we will just seeing all the highlights only on the TV and all those things, or whether we will get some proper judgment on this issue? Advocate Ramesh Kumar Sharma, please.
This is absolutely sure, Mr. Goyal, that whatever may be the order of the Delhi High Court, the affected party will go to the Supreme Court. This is quite sure. Matter is very hot, and really it has to be considered by the Supreme Court also. And the ultimate decision shall be of the Supreme Court only. And with the order of the Supreme Court, the matter shall be decided finally. But as there are so many judgments of Honorable Supreme Court, if the matter is feasible to the High Court, then the parties should not come to the Supreme Court directly. First, they should come to the High Court under Article 226 of the Constitution, and after the order of the High Court, they should come to the Supreme Court under a special petition. So that procedure has to be adopted, and matter will definitely go to the Supreme Court. This is quite sure.
Okay, thank you. Now my question to Mr. Arul Lakshman. Mr. Arul Lakshman, you have mentioned something that the rent which the government is paying. Can you just repeat the figure?
Regarding what?
For the offices which they are having offices.
Central Vista, no? Actually, Solicitor General in Supreme Court has himself mentioned that around 1,000 crores is being spent
Per
maybe,
year.
That I'm not very clear. Yeah.
Now,
but he mentioned that. Yeah.
20,000 crores is the only the construction cost. We are not taking the cost of the land. If we will take the 3 kilometer, or I have given you the figures of so many square meter also, the
This
cost
is
will
86 acre. This is 86 acre. This developed rate of 86 acre.
So
yeah.
86 acre at the prime most place in the India. I think the most costliest place. If we will even take, I think the project cost will be more than 1 lakh crore. The rate of interest, even if we take whatsoever rate of interest, I am sure it is far more than 1,000 crores. I think you said Solicitor General. Solicitor General should have that much basic economics to know that money, when we are investing, it also bears the interest. We are cutting the interest of the PF holders. We are cutting the interest of the small savings accounts. And we are not bothered for this thing that how much money capital investment we are doing, and we are losing that much interest. What you say about this, Mr. Arun Lakshman?
I'll have to study on the economics of the project, but no. I do agree for the Central Vista project, because generally every country will have its landmark. Every country will create such a big project for the nation, and for that you have to make some compromises regarding the interest and the economic part. That is my point on this subject.
Mr. Arun Lakshman, I agree with you. Those countries who are either developed or those who are in a comfortable situation, just think that in a house, if there is nothing to eat and somebody wants to show off that, see, I am such a big person and getting painting and repairing work done and are constructing a new house while there is no, the fees is not being paid of the children. And is it that we have to show in the society, or to whom we are impressing?
But the government is the social parameters, except for this pandemic, the government was going on a good stream. The pandemic was an inevitable thing, and the pandemic created a lot of confusion, a lot of chaos. But the Central Vista project was proposed much earlier, and I do agree that Central Vista project should be put on hold for the present, for the time being. But doing away with the Central Vista project is not
okay.
good, or not in a good intention.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Mr. Pradeep Mathur, the Congress is harping upon the Prime Minister House. It's not only, it's a one part of the Central Vista. It's not the Prime Minister House. Why you are highlighting? After all, it is good for the daylight pupil, because it's about 2+ kilometers away, the Parliament, the Prime Minister House to the office. Now, that much time when he's traveling, it's all road blockade, etc., etc. So it is very going to be convenient for Delhi people. So why the Congress is only harping that Prime Minister House has been created? What is rather it is going to be beneficial for the public at large? What do you say about this?
Question is not of the movement. If you just see the breakup of the cost, what is the cost of the particular Central Vista Parliament House, the residence of the Prime Minister? This is like the Prime Minister House is likely to be created like Emperor's House, and it could have been a house of 5 rooms. It could have been the best facility. It is not required to be like a luxurious palace. The money which is likely to be spent on Prime Minister House is like spending like a luxurious palace. We resist on this issue that they should make out a common house with best facilities. It should not be like a palace.
Okay.
That is the distance affair which you are quoting, that it will be more time consuming from moving from the present Prime Minister House 7 days first to South Block. How much it is going to be any difference? 10 minutes. And when the Prime Minister moved, traffic is already being stopped. It is not like Boris affair. It is not like England Prime Minister, that the England Prime Minister goes on bicycle to his office, not like Indian Prime Minister, where in his carcade, at least 10 to 15 vehicles are there and the traffic is stopped. So this is all rubbish. And the kind of house they are going to make is a luxurious house, like a palace. The present Prime Minister wants to live like a king and he doesn't want to live like a common man.
No, but Mr. Pradeep Mathur, this was from the very beginning. If you see the Teen Murti house, it was also like a palace. So why you are saying? And earlier in the same same house, our earlier
That,
seven
I
race
tell you,
course earlier Prime Minister also
uh,
Dr. Manmohan Singh also stayed in the same.
yeah. It is 7 years course. If you'll go, I had been to that house many times. It has nothing special. It is simply ordinary construction with AC, equipped ACs and ordinary furniture with the lawns and everything. I have seen it very closely. When Rajiv Gandhi was there, when Manmohan Singh ji was there, I'd been to that house many times. It is nothing special. It is not like a palace. And likewise, Teen Murti Bhavan was constructed by the Britishers earlier, where Nehruji has shifted. So it is not that key, especially the houses are being made in such a way to provide the luxury of to live like a king in the country. He doesn't want to live like a common man. He
Okay.
always say that any time I'll go with like a fakir and with Jola. Why not he leaves with Jola
Okay,
and fakir
okay,
when the country
Mr.
is in
Mathur, again we
distress?
lost your connection. I think whenever you start criticizing our honorable Prime Minister, your connection
When I say when
connection. Okay, okay.
yeah, when I say when I do
I
something
will come
bitter,
back to you.
you're
I
I think
I will come back to you. I know.
I'll now I have to go. Mr. Lal, I have to leave for some place.
Okay.
I'll be withdrawing
So your
myself now.
last comment. Just tell me whether you want the Congress want this Central Vista work now or to be stopped, or at all you want that it should not be done at all, or you just want a temporary halt, as our other panelist, Mr. Rahul Lakshman has said.
It should not be built at all. Whole of the money should be transferred to the AIIMS. Whole of the money should be for creating the new hospitals. Whole of the money should go for providing the remdesivir. Whole of the money should be provided for medicines and to protect the life of the country people. We are in a very shamble position, like the dead bodies are being floated in river Ganges. It is the shame of the country. It is the shame of the country. The way we are losing our common man, the Prime Minister and the present set of government is not at all bothered. They're giving all fictitious report to befool the country. It is looking like as if the dictatorial set of people are sitting on the top and they are not wanting to do anything for the public.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Deep Mathur, for giving your time and giving your very strong views. We will come to know either today or tomorrow what the judgment of High Court and subsequently the judgment of Supreme Court says. But your views are very clear. Mr. Mathur says the Central Vista should be stopped, scrapped entirely, and this entire money should be spent for the benefit of the medical or health projects, whether it's a All India Institute or providing oxygen or other equipments, etc. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for joining us and giving your views. Now my question goes to Advocate Ramesh Kumar Sharma. Advocate Ramesh Kumar Sharma, do you think whenever the government wants, they can term that this is a very essential service, and then they can use all those power which are, or give all the facilities which are comes under the Essential Service Act? So if they can declare any service as essential, because everybody knows, I think even a student of 8th class can also say that this is not an essential. Essential is the medical health. What you say, what is the legality of this, that any services can be termed as an essential service by the government? The government is allowed to do that?
Yeah, Mr. Goyal, this is an absolute discretion of the government to fix what services are the essential services, what activities are the essential activities. And as it is a discretion, and government has exercised its this discretion one way, it cannot be challenged in a court of law. Because of for the purpose of proper administration, a discretion has to be given to the government to take a decision. So decision has to be taken. But this is absolutely correct that this discretion is generally being misused. And in the present context also, this discretion has been misused by the government, and an activity which cannot be said to be essential, that has been declared to be essential by the government. Everyone says it is not essential at all, but the government has declared so, because if they have to complete it one part at up to 2020 and 22 and other up to 2024. That's the thing.
Okay.
So discretion of the government, they have utilized it wrongly.
Okay.
One thing I will also like to specify with regard to your previous question to Mr. Mathur, that the proposed construction of Prime Minister's house and Prime Minister's office is to be done as per the project in 15 acre of land, and these two buildings are just adjacent to each other. And from the office to residence, Prime Minister will take only 2 to 3 minutes in this proposed construction. They are just adjacent to each other, and it is to be constructed in 15 acre of the land. So it's a huge construction, and naturally a very big residential house is to be constructed. And Mr. Mathur has said it is like a emperor of the country. Then actually our Prime Minister is not less than any emperor. He is definitely emperor of the 140 crores.
Yeah, we are proud of this, that at least one person is enjoying the emperor life. If the common persons can't. Thank you very much, Advocate Sharma. I will come back to you. Now, my question goes to Mr. Arun Lakshman. Do you think that the priorities of the government is changed? They are either not seeing which is the priority. We have seen recently that even like conducting this election during the pandemic, so much courts are hammering as well as the preponing the Kumbh Mela and those things. Somewhere the priorities has been changed, and even now this Central Vista, which everybody says right now, and you also agreed. So do you think there's some priorities or some shift in the government's priorities?
But I don't think like that. I think that even now the government is transferring money to the farmers' account. The government is involving in the healthcare. The healthcare, the pandemic, no, see, pandemic is a warlike situation. In the pandemic, you cannot judge a government just how it's handled in a pandemic. It handled the first wave, it handled considerably well. The second wave, there are even a lot of studies in several international journals also, how the second wave has come to this country in this variant form. There are several disputes. There are several questions to be answered on that count. Even a biological war. There was a report of a Chinese study before 5 years, and American scientists has come out with that. But I don't subscribe to, or I don't say that there is a biological war happening. But it has to be studied, and the history will say how it is handled. But in the first wave, the government has handled considerably well. I don't
but Mr. Arun Lakshman, October the knocking is there. And the people, the reports were there from October, the second wave is coming. And the reports were, I was told, and it was in the media now, that the reports were put under the file so that the elections can be carried out. Only when so much hue and cry, then only the elections were postponed. Not postponed, rather the rallies were postponed. And then no one has gone to the rally. But don't you think that this has given an image abroad? Because now what happened, the WHO yesterday only declared that this Indian variant is a risk, and now 44 countries have already received the Indian variants. Now consider that almost all the big countries have banned Indian tourist or any Indian person to go from this country. What will be the future if this is type of things will happen? Where we will stand? One side we are constructing the Central Vista. After all, the image, everyone feel that the image of the country, don't you think that it is being dented by some decisions which they should have? I'm talking about the Central Vista only.
No, Central Vista, I've already told my point that Central Vista has to be put on hold.
But don't you
for
think the
point.
government should come forward and say, okay, we are staying, we don't want to appeal and something for the benefit of the, don't you think it will enhance the image of the government?
I think if they bring that such a legislation or if they take such a decision, the image can be enhanced. But anyway, critics will come out with like greyhounds in everything.
Okay. Thank you very much. So, Mr. Sharma, you want to say anything or? Okay.
I want
fine.
to say only one thing. That at least this year's budget allocation for Central Vista should be transferred for the pandemic purposes. This year's budget allocation.
Okay. Thank you very much. So today you have seen about the Central Vista, which has become a highlight every day. Everyone is talking why this need of Central Vista. There are views and both side views. One view is very clear. Yes, we require after all, once you are doing development, you require those things which are obsolete, which require modernization. For that, the Central Vista project is right. No doubt about it. But the timing is wrong, which all our panelists have agreed that right now, because of the pandemic, unexpected pandemic, we should put it on hold till the time the pandemic is over. Then again, the construction work can start, which I'm sure the two of the panelists have no problem in that. Only Mr. Mathur, being a political person, he has to oppose. So that's why he has. But other two are very clear that we must put this project on hold and start it once the pandemic is over. But it all depends on the courts now, because the battle is in court, High Court, and then the Honorable Supreme Court. So we have to wait what is going to be the decision. And thank you very much for joining us. And today's program has been live telecasted by V4 News, Global TV, V4 Stream, Newsgaon se Samvad Sarocar News, as well as was shown live on Facebook and YouTube. And our endeavor is to bring to you every day a new topic. And tomorrow, media conference with Lal Goyal, at 10:30, the topic is joint family versus nuclear family. And the panelists are Dr. Rajiv Anand, Senior Psychiatrist and Marriage Counselor, Mumbai, Miss Amala Rai, Theatre Practitioner, Educator, Curriculum Designer and Theatre Teachers Trainer, Mumbai, Miss Varsha Gulsani, Member, Public Relations Committee, Indian Ladies Association, Bahrain, Mr. Soumitra Agrawal, Managing Director, SP Growth Partners, Hong Kong, Dr. Nikita Pawar, Family Physician and Online Consultant, Mumbai. So please tune in tomorrow for media conference Lal Goyal at 10:30 a.m. Thank you very much, Advocate Ramesh Kumar Sharma, and thank you very much, Mr. Arun Lakshman, for giving your views, very, very frank views. And that is why we want that we should hear the views, not the tutu meme that we want to put our words. We want that what the expert says. So they have given their views. Choice is yours to decide your views, whether, although we know that your views, whether it matters or not now till the time of voting, but whatsoever you want to think, choice is yours. Thank you very much. Thank you all the viewers for watching our show. Thank you very much.